Welcome to the Hot Mamas Living Better at Any Age show with your host, Donnie Beckham and Kelly Clanton Cox. Join us for a lighthearted and fun discussion on women's health issues, aging with grace. We're broadcasting from Bold Radio Station every week. Now, here are your hosts, Donnie and Kelly.
Hello and welcome to Hot Mamas, Living Better at Any Age. Welcome to another edition. I'm your host, Donnie, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Kelly Clanton Cox.
Hi, everybody.
So grab your favorite adult beverage and get ready for some fun. I don't know what time it is where you are, but it is noon where I am, and I'm having a glass of homemade blueberry wine. Kelly, what are you having to drink today?
My standard go-to vodka tonic with a squeeze of lime. And for Kim, it's organic.
Hey, mine is too.
Girl,
it's made with organic blueberries, homemade.
I'm telling you, you just don't even understand where we're going to have our corporate meeting, quote, quote. I'm going to have to try some of that homemade wine. Tell our listeners how to do it or something.
No, man, I've got, let me see, 1, 2, 3. Oh, Lord, I think I have 24 gallons that I need to bottle this weekend. Gonna be some fun.
Yes, please.
Well, folks, we are broadcasting live from the beautiful Bold Radio Station studio, and we are having some technical issues today, and we unfortunately cannot take live calls, but you know how to reach us if you were listening to us last week, but I'm going to give you our email addresses again. So if you have a question during today's show, please feel free to email us, or if you are friends with us on Facebook, you can send us a Facebook message. You can send an email to me at onenutritionexpert@gmail.com. That's the number 1, nutritionexpert@gmail.com. Or if you want to send an email to Kelly, it's Kelly with a Y hyphen Cox, C-O-X, at sbcglobal.net. Kelly Cox at sbcglobal.net. Or like I said, you can send us a message on Facebook. So we hope to get our technical difficulties worked out so that we can take your calls live on the air. But until then, just reach out to us by email, and we'll be glad to get your questions in on today's show. But before we jump into the heart of today's show, I want to share with you and give you a shout out to a listener. This is from our first show last week. And she shared after the show how it impacted her. So we are just so excited to be able to report that we're already helping out some people across the internet. Chris said that she had been sitting around, not doing anything, not feeling well, and she has been overweight for a long time. And after listening to our show, where we were encouraging our listeners to just take that first step, get up and move. And she did just that. She got up off the couch, she started walking, and she reported that she felt so much better, and now she has been walking every day. So, Chris, if you are listening today, way to go, sister. We are so proud of you, and we're so excited that you took that first step. Just keep it up, and we are behind you all the way.
Wow. How awesome is that? That's got to be like the best news ever.
I know.
I had the same
Isn't
thing
that crazy?
happen. It's great. It's great. I've had the same thing happen. Emails, Facebook messages. I mean, it's just like tons of people have reached out and said, because of this, I want to get moving. I want to do something. Tell us how. Tell us what you're doing. It's been so inspiring, and we love your feedback. We want to keep hearing it. So please share your stories of success. You know what? Even share your stories of failure, because we all have them. And truth be told, if I'm all about confessing, this is going to turn into a confession as well as a Hot Mamas Living Better at Any Age show. But okay, here it is. Are you ready? I did not work out pretty much the entire week last week.
No.
I know, right? I know.
Horror.
It's like, I know. It's terrible. It's horrible. But sometimes you need that break, and you need to rest, refuel, regroup, and get out there and kick some ass. And I'm ready to kick some ass now. So
Well, and in the spirit of full confession, I have to confess too. Last week last week I had to work out of town and I was at a conference and I feel guilty because we even talked about this on the show last week that, being out of town really is no excuse because you can work out in your hotel room and, you can still eat healthy. And I still ate healthy. I did exactly what I said. I brought my meal prep stuff, but it just threw me off of my normal routine of, getting up at a certain time and doing my yoga in the morning. And all of that was just completely off kilter. So I didn't get the same kind of workouts last week that I usually get. But, and this goes for all of us. When we fall off of that wagon, we got to pick ourselves back up by our bootstraps and climb right back on and just, pick up and get going again. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just, pick up where you left off and keep going. Damn it.
Exactly. I mean, that's the key. That's the key to it right there is we're all going to have those days. I mean, even the best of us. And I work out 6 days a week, which I know you do as well. I mean, it's in my blood. It runs through my veins. It makes me happy. It is literally my happy place. It's,
get them endorphins going.
It is. But, I even have setbacks and where I'm just like, I'm not feeling it today. Or I'll go in there and I'll half-ass it, which let me tell you, it's better than not going at all. Do not think that just because you went to the gym and you didn't, give it everything or you didn't do as well as you could have, you can beat yourself up over it. And trust me, I do. Or you can just say, you know what? I didn't feel it as much today as I will tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's always another day and always another chance to kick some ass.
That's right.
I'm telling you. You know what? And on another little side note, I just want to throw this out there, a little bit off what we're talking about. But each week that we do the show, I'm going to be giving you a healthy recipe kind of towards the end of the show. So be sure you've got your pen and paper ready because it's going to be yummy.
I'm telling you, the one from last week was awesome. I hope everybody got that one. And then didn't you repost it afterwards? Did you repost it on Facebook? Okay,
I've
cool.
Reposted it. It's under I probably made it about every third day. I'm making a double batch. I mean, I just can't. They're good, and I've got some people
they're easy.
that are important to me that like them, so I make them.
Easy. Well, and so last week we told the listeners a little bit about each of us and what the show's going to be about. And today we're just going to jump right into some topics and issues that the listeners have actually brought up to us. So Kelly, I wanted to ask you what your clients are talking about and what are the things that they're most interested in now? What are some of their issues that they're having to deal with?
It kind of goes with what we were just talking about. The bulk of everyone I talk to, even my current clients and clients that are, people that are talking to me about getting started, it's the same thing. How do I get started and how do you not want to give up? And It's kind of what we've talked about just a while ago. I mean, I confessed. I didn't go to the gym last week or I should say very little. I think I might have done some cardio and I did
I think we might have lost Kelly for a second. So while we're having some technical difficulties, let me just kind of pick up and elaborate on what Kelly was talking about. If you caught the show last week, we were talking about how to just kind of pick yourself up and get started again. And I know she has some clients that she works with that she is helping to get started from basically being a couch potato for a long time. And if that's you, Kelly is somebody that you can rely on as a resource for information on how to get you started. And it really doesn't matter where you live. We are both accessible online. Of course, you can hear us on the radio every Tuesday at noon, and you can reach us by email at each of our email addresses. So if you are one of those who is having trouble getting started and you need some feedback from Kelly, just reach out to her, and I'm sure she will be glad to get back with you. And I think we may have gotten Kelly back.
How's this for technology?
There we go.
Do you want to do you love it or do you want to hate it? I think I want to love to hate it.
Yes, we have a love-hate relationship.
Oh, my God.
I just kind of picked up where you left off about kind of, getting back on track. So tell us about some of the clients that you're working with that have had that experience where either they've worked out before and then they got off track, or they've never worked out and they're trying to figure out how to start.
Well, I do have a lady that's going to potentially start with me on Wednesdays. And her big thing is, don't hurt me. If I'm sore, I'm not going to come back. Well, okay. So with that being said,
that's hard to do.
Yeah, you know what? It is. I'm trying to tell her that, listen, muscles are muscles, and when you haven't used them and then you go in the gym, I don't care if you lift 5 pounds. You're going to be sore. Now there are different levels to being sore. I know when I first started, I did one of my first leg workouts. I thought I seriously couldn't walk for 3 days. It was unbelievable what I felt, but I don't hardly ever get sore anymore. Very rare. I mean, I will still have like, oh, okay, I kind of feel that. Yeah. But I'm not so sore I can't move. I'm not so sore that it's like an issue. Now when I do get sore, I'm like, yeah, that was a kick-ass workout because
because when you're sore, you know that what you did was working because it's breaking down your muscle fibers and they're rebuilding, and that's what makes you sore. So if she can look at it from that mindset, that might change her mind about that a little bit.
and there's different levels, I mean, I told her, I'm like, well, I'm not going to kill you the first day or whatever, but you have to, we have to get in, we have to do some stuff. We have to see where you're at and see your levels. And it's, folks, really, it's not about walking out of there like you just want to die. I mean, that's not what this is about, because you won't want to come back. But realistically, you have to understand that when you're using something you haven't used, well, like when I first started, I don't know, in 5+ years, it's going to say, hey, what the hell are you doing? What's going on here? What just happened? What are you making us do? We don't like this. Within a first few weeks, they're going to be like, oh, we get it, and we love it, and we want some more of it. Right. So you just have to stay with it. And seriously, get accountable to someone. If you're not accountable to someone, then you're not going to want it. It's human nature. Just like there are some people out there that are just go-getters, and they can just do this in their sleep. And they have no issues going to the gym alone. They have no issues staying on track and motivating themselves. I am not one of those people. I like my person in the gym with me. I like that. It feeds my soul. It makes me happy. And now keeps
you're not
me accountable.
You're not talking necessarily about hiring a personal trainer, but at least having somebody that you meet up with at a certain time and day at the gym so that you're both keeping each other accountable. Okay, cool.
But as we talked about last week, I have someone that coaches me, and then I coach others. But then I also will have, I've had friends that have met me, at the gym. Yeah. If something's not available, fortunately I'm good friends with who I am coached by. And so it works out that we can meet, typically most every day. And so that's just the way it works out. We're friends as well as workout partners. So
well, and that's what I do with my yoga group too. We stay in touch with each other during the week and hold each other accountable to the other workouts that we do. But come Thursday nights, man, you better be there for yoga, or I'm going to come by your house and pick you up, or I'm going to call you, or
there you go. Exactly.
You better be there.
And see, I'm one of those people. I need something like that, because if it was left up to me, I don't know, like last week. I mean, I'm just like, I'm sorry, what? I have to go to the gym? No, I do not. But, and it's what I do. It's my living. It's what, it's who I am. But I still need that accountability. I need that person that's going to say, get up, get to the gym. I'll be there in a few minutes, Well, and for somebody like our listener, Chris, from last week that reported that, after she heard what we were saying, that it inspired her to get up and just, start walking.
what advice would you give to her at this point after a week to keep her motivated and keep her going? What would you tell somebody like her?
You know what I did? I went because that's how I started my whole journey, is just walk, so that I didn't go into complete shock with my body of stepping foot in the gym. I started walking, but I went to parks. I went to the lake. I don't know where Chris is from, but I went to our local lake that is buzzing, full of people. There's always something. I'm a big people watcher. I love to do that. So I walked where I knew that there would be something to, I guess, distract me from what I was actually doing.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't bike ride, because, I'll plow down all the people in front of me and then I will fall over because I'll be too busy watching everything that's going on around me to actually ride a bike. So I walk. So yeah, that's my thing. Just get where there are people. If you don't have somebody that can go walking with you right now, I'm still all about that accountability and partnering up. And this Chris can reach out to either one of us. We will keep you moving every day and make you accountable to get out there and move. But if you can't physically do it with someone else, go where there are people, because that's what I did. And it kept me motivated to keep walking. Because I just walk along. And before I knew it, seriously, it was like 6 miles, 8 miles. I was like, what just happened?
Wow.
Because I'm just busy watching what's going on around me. And it just doesn't, it's getting into a great time of year. I started at this time of year where it was kind of fall, going into the cooler months, and walked 1,000,000 miles. Felt like Forrest Gump.
Well, I just got an email question in from someone. This is from Diane, and she says that she is recovering from an injury, and she's been released from her doctor, but she's not real sure how to get started again. She's scared. She's afraid she's going to hurt herself again. I think I'd probably think the same thing. So have you worked with anyone like that maybe has either had like surgery they're recovering, or an injury and they're recovering? What would you tell her?
I have. I've rotator. A lot of rotator cuffs in the gym. Just about everybody that's a big workout has either blown their rotator cuff or blown their knees, or me personally, I've had 2 neck surgeries myself.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I've blew 2 of my discs back in 2000. So I'm very, very aware of that. And there are a lot of things you can do to compensate it. Like for me personally, when I'm doing my squats, I use a Smith machine because it's assisted rack. And then I have one of the, good grief, just the pads that you put back behind your shoulder.
Pad
the roll. If your gym doesn't have one, roll a towel around it. It's the same thing. But that's what I do, and I rest it, because sometimes I'll get that bar right up on that back of my neck. But then I also will try to rest the bar a little bit further down on my shoulder to where I'm not so high on my neck. Now, I might have to adjust that as I lift heavier, or should I say squat heavier. But for right now, that definitely worked. The pad is the best because it just rests perfectly. Rotator cuffs, you have to be careful, and sometimes you have to lift less. And definitely, huge thing, you've got to warm up.
Oh yeah, that's key. I think I've hurt myself by not warming up. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's usually from my person. That is usually the reason people get hurt, is they don't warm up. And it doesn't matter how big you are, or how little you are, or how experienced you are, or how non-experienced you are. Warm up. Even the biggest of bodybuilders warm up. You will see them warming up with weights that are like baby weights, and you're like, seriously, what are you talking? That's like nothing for you. Everybody warms up, and if you don't, you will regret it, because it will catch up to you. You have to warm up those muscles.
Well, and Diana doesn't say what her injury was, but I hope that we answered her question. And if there's anyone else that wants to email us a question, since we're not able to take calls today, let me give you our email addresses one more time. You can email me, Dawnine, at onenutritionexpert@gmail.com. That's the number 1, nutritionexpert@gmail.com. Or you can email Kelly at Kelly with a Y, hyphen, Cox, COX, at sbcglobal.net. Kelly-Cox at sbcglobal.net. So Kelly, what else are your clients dealing with? What's one of their major pain points that you're having to help them with?
Well, it would probably be, God, this is just like a confessional. This is crap. This is like total crap. But it's you know what? It's kind of the same one we all are. I think a lot of women deal with, and it's ab workout.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lord, help me.
Affectionately say, I don't have abs. I have an ab.
one ab that flops over. As I sit here and look at a DVD entitled 6 Week 6-Pack that is sitting on the desk.
Yeah, it's probably, oh God, so many. Okay, it's kind of the adage of the big bodybuilder guys seem to forget leg day.
Yes.
Have you noticed that? You have all these guys, and it's like, really?
My husband does that. I hate legs.
It's like, hey, no one likes legs, but let me tell you what you need to be doing. Legs, because that does not look good. So but it's the same adage. I think with women, we tend to go, we hate ab day. I mean, we want them, don't get me wrong, but it's like it sucks. It just sucks. So, you got to get in there and you got to do it all. My favorite and this is probably the one issue I don't care for my gym on is I don't have a place where I can hang. I like to hang on the straps.
Oh yeah.
And then pull my knees up for abs. That's just it gets all of it. It gets the whole, the top, the bottom, the sides, all of it.
Yeah.
But I don't have
sucks.
that.
We have that in our gym. We have several of them.
I know. Well, I guess I should say I belong to 2 different gyms. The other gym does. I just don't go there as often because the gym I go to on a regular basis, as I affectionately call, or it's been affectionately called Planet Hollywood, which is Planet Fitness. They don't have it, and that's where I can coach people because with my membership I can get them in. My other gym, Fitness 19, they do have it, but I'm just not there as often.
Yeah,
and so I'm like, okay, well, I guess I don't have the thing I like, so I can't do abs. Well,
that's an excuse.
I know.
No excuses.
Confessional, man. I am just telling it all today, aren't I? So see, even your coaches have issues with this stuff. I do. I have to work with my clients just as well as I have to work with myself to get around these things and stop making the excuses. So I don't have a hanging rack. Get my ass on a ball or on the mats. I have a great mat area where I can do crunches and all those other kinds of, things we love to hate. So that would be probably the biggest thing. Yeah, is trying to do the ab work, which since Jody's not on the phone and she can't listen live right now, she's going to have to listen to the pre-recorded. So I
tell off on her.
I feel like from our call last week that we got her voicemail, I feel as though I should tell you the funnest time I have had in the gym with one of my clients has to be hands down Jody Harris.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Look, I totally called her out, last name and all.
Somehow I can imagine that. My
God, I thought I was gonna. Girl, I thought I was gonna pee my pants. I may have. I may have. Truth be told, I don't know. I mean, it was so damn funny. Get on the ab work on her and the ball. Trying to.
Oh my gosh.
Stay on the ball. I was laughing so hard I couldn't even stay on the ball. And then I get a text the week later saying I was just on the ball doing ab work and the ball went flying out from underneath me.
Oh my gosh.
You have to, I'll tell you, that's what I'm telling you. Everybody needs to partner up. It's not only accountability, it's just fun.
It's fun. That's
It's
right. I have a
fun.
lot more fun when I work out with a friend.
Oh my God. There's no way I wouldn't. I will be there every day with my trainer, with my partner. That's just, it's what makes it fun. It's what makes it doable.
Well, since you told off on Jody, I'll have to give her a shout out because I had a phone conversation with her Sunday evening, and we were talking about yoga. And I was telling her all about, my yoga certification and the yoga classes that I teach for ladies that are in menopause and dealing with hormonal symptoms and stuff like that. And so now she has decided that she wants to start taking yoga. And she messaged me this morning and said that she found a yoga class and she starts Wednesday night. So that is great. I'm excited for her. She's going to love it.
I will have to find out what this is all about. Oh my gosh, wait a minute. She sent me a message today wanting to know what I was doing Wednesday.
She wants you to go take yoga.
She's so sneaky. She's so sneaky.
That is awesome. Well, I had mentioned last week that I did a survey, and I'm sure most of the listeners out there have done SurveyMonkey, where you get an email saying, take this survey, or, you see something on Facebook about taking a survey. Well, I did a survey with my Facebook group and on my business page. So it went out to about 1,500 people. And when I got the results back, I was really surprised because I was asking about, what my demographic, my clients, my, ladies that are 40 to 60 are dealing with. And I really thought that it was going to be weight loss as number one. And it wasn't. It was hot flashes. And so I kind of just mentioned this briefly last week, and I wanted to go back and actually talk about some of the things that you can do if you're suffering from hot flashes and you are looking for some natural ways to deal with them. I have got, and I'm going to tell you how to get this later today. This is a free ebook, and it is 5 simple steps that you can take now to relieve menopausal hot flashes so that you can be symptom-free without medication or hormone replacement therapy. So if that describes you and you're looking for a way to deal with hot flashes without taking medication, prescription medication, or prescription hormones, then I'm going to give you some really easy tips. And Kelly, some of these are going to kind of be along the lines of the things you do with your clients too. So if you want to add,
I'm so glad you're talking about this because I've had so many people ask me, and I'm like, tune in because my sidekick has got this in the bag for you all.
And some of these are common sense. I mean, you might hear them and think, well, damn, why didn't I think of this already? But some of them are also things that you may have never thought about, or you don't, you wonder, okay, well, why is she telling me to do this or not to do this? So I'm going to give you these tips, and they're super easy, and I'll tell you how you can get your own copy of this ebook at the end of the show today. So the first one is to avoid sugar of any kind, and that includes fruit, after 2 p.m. And here's why. Any sugar that you ingest after 2 p.m. is likely to be stored as fat, especially if you're not doing some sort of exercise in the evening before you go to bed. And so that also brings up if you go out to dinner or if you have dinner at home and you typically will have a sweet or a dessert after dinner, you should not do that because after 2 p.m., the chances of that sugar being stored as fat go way up as your metabolism slows for the evening. So no sugar after 2 p.m.
Wow. I'm screwed.
So, well, yeah, I mean, if you're
I have to work on that one.
Yeah, if you're used to having, a snack like at 3 or 3:30 and it's got some sugar in it, or, if you eat pasta as your evening meal, pasta is loaded with sugar. That carb just turns into a big old blob of sugar when it gets processed by your body. So to avoid sugar, you have to think about other things that sugar is in. Do you drink sweet tea in the afternoon? Do you have a coffee? And put sugar in it? Or, do you put honey in your hot tea in the afternoon? So that's something you might really have to think about.
Oh, so even natural sugars.
Yeah, like no sugars, no oranges, no bananas, no grapes, none of those high sugar fruits after 2 o'clock. Crazy, huh?
But you know what? Women that are having those hot flashes, I'm telling you, they will do anything.
Oh
They
yeah.
will try anything because it's a real struggle from what I've heard. It's just
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, mine used to be terrible until I started doing these 5 tips that I'm going to tell you about today, and some other things that I do that we'll save that for another show. But these are some just easy ways to get you started. Now, number 2, and this is right up your alley, Kelly, focus on lean proteins, healthy fats, fruits, and vegetables. You've got to get processed foods out of your nutrition plan, because processed foods and the chemical compounds in them not only contribute to hot flashes and other menopausal symptoms, but contributes to all sorts of other things. Inflammation, all kinds of disease processes are fueled by the chemicals that are in processed foods. So the cleaner diet that you can eat, and you're looking at 30% lean proteins, about 60% fruits and vegetables, and 10% whole grains if you can handle whole grains. Some people need to stay away from grains altogether because of gluten sensitivities, but that's what you should be focusing on, is lots of fruits and vegetables, lean proteins like free-range turkey, organic, natural chicken, wild-caught fish. That's what you need to be focusing on, and get rid of all those processed foods. If you've got lunch meat in your refrigerator, you need to get rid of it. If you've got any kind of like bacon or meat products, things that are packaged, if you've got processed cheese, like, the sliced cheese, as long as if it says natural or organic, that's fine. But if you're getting the stuff that says pasteurized processed cheese product, throw it away. Get all of those unnatural things out of the fridge.
Wow. That is so true. The cleaner our diet, the cleaner we are. Good. You want good out, you put good in.
That's right. You got to keep your insides healthy so that your outsides will reflect it. Exactly. And then the next thing is, and this goes right along with that, water is essential. You should be drinking half of your body weight in water each day. Now, some people may be saying, now, wait a minute, I can't do that. I'd be drinking 2 gallons of water. No, you take your body weight and you divide it by 2, and that's the number of ounces you need to drink. So right now I weigh about 135, so that's almost 70 ounces of water a day. And when you look at a water bottle, like, a bottle that you purchase, that's usually about 24 ounces, or if you have a reusable, refillable bottle like what I use, it's like 32 ounces. So if I drink 2 of those a day, I'm good.
That's good, really, yeah.
It's not
as much as you think. Yeah.
Right. It's really not. And if you get a reusable bottle, like a stainless steel bottle, so you're not dealing with BPA or, any kind of toxic chemicals in your plastic water bottle, then you know how many ounces it has, and you just figure out how many of those you need to drink during the day, and it's not as daunting as you think it is, I promise. And the truth is, most of us walk around slightly dehydrated because we don't drink enough water. And things like sodas and coffee and tea, yes, they have water in them, but they don't count as your water intake, because most of them also have chemicals and artificial colors and caffeine, which dehydrates you. So you want to back off of those types of drinks and substitute for water. And this is something that I tell my clients when they start freaking out about having to drink so much water. I tell them, look, take one of those sodas that you drink. If they're addicted to Diet Coke or Diet Dr. Pepper, whatever, I tell them take one of those away per day and replace it with 8 ounces of water. Just one. You don't have to go cold turkey. Just take away one. If you drink 4 cups of coffee in the morning, take one of those away and replace it with 8 ounces of water. And before you know it, it actually becomes more of a routine and a habit to drink water instead of drinking sodas or teas or coffee or whatever. And you realize that, oh, wow, I feel better. My body is reacting better. And drinking water starts to become more of a habit than a chore.
That is a great idea.
That's super important. And then the next one, and we were just talking about, getting good exercise and don't make any excuses. This one, number 4, is to stretch regularly and gently. And this is why I love yoga, because yoga is stretching. It's very gentle exercises. It's not painful. I mean, yes, some of the moves look crazy and, like you're contorted into a pretzel, but it's really not difficult and it's not painful. And really the first thing that you should do before you get out of bed in the morning, and I do this every morning, is just to get a good stretch. And I like to tell people, if you have a dog or a cat, what's the first thing they do when they wake up from a nap or from being in bed?
Oh, stretch.
They stretch.
My gosh.
My dogs do downward dog. They do upward dog. I mean, that's the first thing that they do. And they know that their bodies need to come out of that rest by stretching. And it gets your blood flowing and, kind of gets the cricks and the creaks out a little bit. So the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning, just get you a nice, good stretch. And then, just like Jody did, when I talked to her about the benefits of yoga and how it's benefited me and, the wonderful things that it can do for your body and your mind and your spirit, she signed up for a yoga class. So, look in your area for a yoga class. They are literally everywhere now. And you don't necessarily have to be a member of a gym, because there's tons of places that there's yoga studios that are standalone that are not part of a gym. There's instructors like me that will go to various locations and teach classes, like a local church or a gymnasium that's at a school or at a church, and we'll do it for a small drop-in fee. So you don't have to be a member of a gym or a studio to take a yoga class. So what I would suggest that you do is just go on to a site like Yelp in your area and look for yoga classes or yoga studios, or just Google it. And all sorts of things will pop up about who's teaching what and where and when. And the drop-in classes are great because you don't have to commit to a membership. You go, you pay, $5, $7, $10. You have an hour-long class. You can see if you like the place, if you like the atmosphere, if you like the instructor. So, you're not signing on to a contract membership for 2 years, and then all of a sudden, you don't like the instructor or the class schedule doesn't meet what you need. So I would just suggest that you kind of look around and see what you can find. And then try to go, once a week to start. Yoga's not something that you necessarily want to do every day when you just get started. But if you could at least go once a week until you kind of get the basics down, and then maybe up it to 2 to 3 times per week. And the really cool thing about it is that, and I know a lot of instructors do this, and I do this myself, is I'll have a really basic instruction sheet of the basic yoga moves that we do during a practice, and I'll give those to my students afterwards and tell them, do this at home. We've done these moves, them, they're easy. You can do this at home when you're not here in practice with me. And I always tell them, if you have questions, send me an email, text me, hit me up on Facebook. If you can't remember how to get into Warrior 2, just ask me and I'll send you a picture.
Right. That's the same thing with everything. You just, that's why the gym is intimidating to so many people. What do I do with that machine? And that's why I've got a lot of my things that I've written out from my clients that I'll be happy to, send them, because it is hard to remember all of that, especially when you're just getting started. It can be overwhelming.
Yeah. And so number 5, this is the last one. And this was something that, it is kind of common sense, but if you've never experienced this type of fabric when you're sleeping, you're going to be amazed. You need to wear natural fabrics when you're sleeping, and your bedding should be either cotton or bamboo and not polyester or some other synthetic material. So if you wear clothing to bed, you need to make sure that it's lightweight and that it breathes. There are some wonderful companies out there that make wicking fabric type pajamas and nightgowns and sleep shirts and sleep pants and stuff like that will help you if you have hot flashes or night sweats, and they keep you cool at night. And then there's some companies that make some wonderful bamboo sheets that are always cool to the touch. They launder very well. They stay very soft, but they don't make you sweat at night. So if you're having issues with hot flashes and night sweats, then you really want to consider wearing natural fabrics and having those type of natural fabrics on your bed. And then, and this is kind of a no-brainer, make sure that your bedroom is cool and that the air is circulating, that you've either got a ceiling fan or you've got maybe a floor fan or an oscillating fan that's moving the air in the room. So
yes,
that
definitely.
air is not still, and because that kind of lends itself to hot flashes. If the air is still and, you're wearing some kind of heavy sleep shirt and you've got, 2 or 3 blankets on you, chances are you are going to have a hot flash or you're going to have a night sweat, and then the rest of the night is just crap. So, I mean, It's kind of a no-brainer, but if you don't have the air moving in your room, think about putting most houses have ceiling fans now, but if you don't have one, just think about putting a floor fan in there just to kind of get the air moving across the top of the bed. So,
well, I've talked to some people that like you said, most houses do have ceiling fans, but that it's very difficult. They can't sleep under that ceiling fan because of the way the air goes down on them, and it it stirs up allergies and just kind of stuffs them up.
Oh yeah,
which I'd never thought of that because it doesn't bother me at all. Matter of fact, I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you mentioned having like a oscillating fan or, just another fan of some kind in your room to get that circulation going, because you need that. You need that air flowing to keep you cool. And some people can't deal with the ceiling fan. So it's good.
That's true.
Good that you mentioned that.
So these are just 5 simple things that you can do just to see if any of these kind of help take the edge off of those hot flashes. Now, there's tons of other things that I do to combat mine, but like I said, we could talk for hours, and that would be a whole different show for us to talk about that. But if you would like to get a copy of this, make sure that you have a pen and paper available, because at the end of the show, I'm going to give you some information about where you can go to get your free downloadable copy of this ebook, and you'll want to have a pen and paper for that. But you know what? They also need a pen and paper for that recipe, Kelly, that you were going to give. So what is this week's recipe?
This week, it's so simple. It's roasted butternut squash. And what better time of year?
Yum.
I mean, we're in October. I realize our temperatures don't quite act like we're in October, but we are. We're actually headed on the downhill slope of October. So it is so simple. Just quick. Heat your oven to 375 degrees. Cut it in half. Scoop out the seeds and all that other junky stuff in it. Put it on a cookie sheet. Drizzle it with extra virgin olive oil and salt and pepper. I mean, it is that simple. Flip it over. Put the flesh side down. And put about 1/4 of a cup of water in the bottom of your cookie sheet. Get one with a lip on it, And what that will do is caramelize it as it's baking. You bake it for about 45 minutes, and you check it from time to time to make sure it's not burning. If you need to add a little bit more water because you're worried about it, go ahead, but don't overdo it, because that water needs to all evaporate, and that's how it caramelizes. And then that's it. You take it out, let it cool down, scoop it out, and spray butter, not butter, spray butter. And, man, you're just good to go. I mean, that's it. It's that simple. It's a great side dish. It's good for anything. It's good for breakfast. It's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's great post-workout carb.
Yes, I love butternut squash.
Yeah, it's a complex carb, and it is fantastic for post-workout.
So all we need is olive oil, salt, and pepper. And did you say 1/2 cup of water?
I'm sorry, 1/4.
1/4 a cup of water. Okay, I'm trying to write this down.
Yeah, I know. How simple is this? It's crazy. That's it. And 375 for 45 minutes. Now, of course, if you want to season it with some cinnamon, something along those lines, go for it. I mean, there's no real. It's a great complex carb. And so there's no real right or wrong. I mean, well, if you want to douse it with a pound of butter, that might be wrong. No. But other than
honey
that,
on it.
I know. But yeah, use something natural. Use some cinnamon, some honey, if you're wanting more sweet. Personally, I like to take even my sweet potatoes and I'll put salt and pepper on them instead of, making them, quote, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you said you flip it over with the flesh side down?
You put the flesh side down, kind of like when you're cooking spaghetti squash. You put the flesh side down, and that caramelizes it when it's in that water, and the water evaporates in your oven.
That is so cool.
Kind of gives it a caramelized taste to it, feel to it. So it's great. It's great for this. I mean, what comfort food? I mean, does it get any better?
Oh my gosh.
And it's
I'm going to make this weekend. We have our farmer's market. There's a couple of growers that have some beautiful butternut squash. And I started to buy some last weekend. And I thought, nah, it's still 90 degrees outside. I'm not ready for butternut squash soup yet. But we have a cold front coming in this weekend. So I'm going to go get me some.
That would be great. See how healthy that is? I mean, and so good for you. And people get, I think the potato gets a bad rap sometimes, the potato or the sweet potato, the gourds, because they really are good for you and they're great for post workouts.
I would have never thought to eat butternut squash after a workout. Seriously. Yeah. I just learned something new today.
Yeah, it's a really good refuel. Because it's a good complex carb. So
that is awesome.
Yes, I know. So that's our easy, simple recipe for the day or for today's show. And awesome. But something else just super, super duper quick, and then we've got to get into our free stuff.
Yes.
I was talking to somebody that just truly knows their stuff. And about this eating out, when you have to travel or when you
we talked about that last
week. We talked about last week when you can't be home and you can't for whatever reason you just birthdays, whatever you're going out to eat. You will be surprised at how many restaurants these days. Restaurants are getting more and more healthy.
Yes,
compared to what it used to be. Let's face it. There's better choices on just about every restaurant, but they will custom and accommodate whatever it is you need to do.
Yes,
one of the main things is we get a salad. Fine, get a salad. Put your dressing on the side and make a good dressing choice. Get a balsamic vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
Get vinaigrette. Get something light, something healthier. Put it on the side. Take your salad on your fork, your lettuce, and dip it in there.
Dip it.
Don't pour it all over it because you may not even need all of that. Just dip it. Those are just some of the simpler things. Find out what the portion sizes of your chicken is or your fish or your steak. And if it's bigger than what you want, ask them if they can make a smaller one for you.
Yeah.
If you get a potato, a potato really is okay, but substitute it for a sweet potato if they have it, and leave the butter off.
Yes.
Ask them to leave the butter off, and just salt and pepper it. Seasonings are your friend. Use seasonings.
Yes. And I tell people too, if, speaking of portion size, most restaurants give you something that is enough for 2 people. So you either share an entree with somebody or you ask them to bring you a to-go box when they bring your entree out, and you go ahead and portion it out, put in the to-go box half of it, and then that way you only have half on your plate that you can eat. So it's out of sight, out of mind. Get it out.
That's perfect. Now I'm going to have to remember that one.
Something else that we just learned recently here in one of our local restaurants, and I live in a really small area, and this isn't a franchise restaurant. It's actually a locally owned place. And my daughter is gluten sensitive. And so we have to be really careful where we go to eat. And she knows some of the restaurants she can go to because she's familiar with their menus. But this one she had not been to. And so when we got there, we asked the waiter if there were some gluten-free options on the menu. Well, lo and behold, about 5 minutes later, the chef himself came out and stood at the table and talked to my daughter and pointed out everything on the menu that was gluten-free, and then some substitutions that he could make and some other dishes if she really wanted it to make it gluten-free. And we were just so impressed with that. So if there's anyone out there that is dealing with gluten sensitivity, or you're trying to stay off of, yeast and sugar and things like that, don't be afraid to ask, because if they don't show it on the menu, if you don't ask, you won't know if they can make a substitution for you. So be sure and ask your waiter, hey, is there a substitution for this? Do you have some gluten-free options? Because you might be really surprised, just like we were.
Wow, that's great. Shout out to that restaurant.
I'm telling you, we were very impressed. It's in Beaumont, and it's called Sugar's.
That's great. That is really good.
It is a really cool restaurant. It's very New Orleans type. Cuisine.
Yum.
Oh, I mean, it's really good stuff. So, I mean, but to think that any of that stuff was gluten-free, I was blown away. But that was just really cool.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You know what? We are at 10 minutes. Can you believe it?
I know. Can you believe that? Isn't that crazy?
And I think this might be one of my favorite parts of the show. Free stuff.
Free stuff. Da, da, da.
Yay.
So each week we're going to have... Yeah, we're going to have some really cool giveaways every single week. And today, my giveaway is going to be what I was talking about earlier, the 5 simple steps to take now to relieve your hot flashes. This is a gorgeous ebook that you can download. You can print it. You can open it on your phone. You can open it on your tablet. And what you need to do is go to my website, and that is fitnessnutritionconsulting.com. fitnessnutritionconsulting.com. When the home page opens up, you're going to see a little box that says submit your email address and receive my 5 simple steps to take now. So go to my home page. As soon as it opens up, type in your email address, and when you click submit, this will automatically come to your email address. So anybody and everybody, I'm not limiting it to 5 people. Just go to my email address, type in your email, and you will get this free tip guide. Kelly, what do you have?
Ooh, that's fantastic. So see, I can get this one. I'm eligible for this one. Well, okay, what I'm doing, folks, is send me an email, Kelly with a Y, -Cox @sbcglobal.net. Reach out to me through Facebook, reach out to me through Messenger, or reach out to me through my website, affirmationstosmile.com, and I will send you a written workout for a body part of your choice. Just let me know some of your goals. We'll talk about it a little bit through email or however you reach out to me, and I'll send you a written workout that you can do at your pace or whatever level you're at. The body part of your choice. Upper body, lower body, arms, legs,
abs.
Or in my case, ab. So, but it is just, look, this show, folks, is all about you guys. It is just, It's all about our listeners. Any of the topics or issues that you want to hear about, we want to know. Yes. We get a hold of us through, we've listed our emails, our websites, our Facebook, those are all out there and available. And we want to know what you want to hear about in future shows. We want to know if you're interested in being a guest speaker on the show. Absolutely. We'd love to hear from you. We are gonna incorporate guest speakers to come on, so it won't just be us for an hour that you get to listen to. Although we're pretty flippin' fantastic.
I'm telling you, we're pretty awesome here. I don't know if anybody could top this.
I know. I'm just saying. But, really, this show is all about our listeners. And we are so blessed to get to do what we love every single day. And there's just sadly people out there that can't say that. And we want to change that. We want you to be out there doing what you love every single day, just like we are. We want to help you in your fitness journey, in your motivate you to keep going, in your nutrition struggles or whatever they might be. We want to be there for you. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your ideas and your tips, because we want to learn more every day, just like you do.
Well, and speaking about doing what you love, both of us have other projects that we're working on besides this awesome radio show. So let me tell the listeners a little bit about a few of the other things that I have going on. And then Kelly, I know you've got some great stuff happening too. I also have an internet TV show. It's called Fit and Healthy After 50 with Doneen, and it airs on a brand new women's-only television network that is online, and it is the Women's Broadcast Television Network, and you can access it at wbtvn.com. When you go to that website, you click on Host, and then you find me. You'll see my name and my picture, and you can click on that, and it will take you to the page where my TV show actually will air. The first episode is scheduled to air next Monday. That is October the 24th, and it comes on at 7 o'clock in the morning. Now, I know that's early, but the reason for it is it's only a 30-minute show, and it's all about just really quick and easy tips to stay fit and healthy. It's stuff about supplements you can take and quick things that you can cook and meal prepping and things like that. So next Monday at 7 o'clock on the WBTVN.com TV station. And I'll send out some information about this online so everybody can see it. And then my book, which is in publication right now, we're 99% finished. We're working on the cover artwork right now.
Yay!
So I feel like I'm getting ready to birth a baby any day now. and so when it is ready, of course, I will be talking all about it and telling you how you can get it. So and we do have a title now. Last week we didn't have a title, so I can say the title this week.
What is it?
Dun, dun, dun. It is called Eat, Drink, and Be Merry Through Menopause.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
it's a really lighthearted look at, what we deal with as we age and some of the really simple, easy, and natural things that you can do to combat those nasty symptoms that we have. So I'll be giving y'all more information about that as it comes along. So Kelly, what do you have?
That is great. Well, I have completed my second article for the magazine that I'm writing for. It is coming out in January 2017. So I've written January and I've written February. So it's been a true blessing to be involved in all of that. And my coaching business is I'm reaching more and more women, and I love it. So I've got some other clients that will be starting up in the next week. So reach out to me if you're interested in any of that. And then I've got some motivational speaking coming up. I've got one November 1st for the
awesome.
for liver transplant survivor group. So I'm really excited about my motivational side too, because it's not just about this health and the fitness and the coaching and the gym and all that. It's motivation too. I am a big believer. Just get on my Facebook friend me, and you'll see that it's all about motivation while you're reaching your goals. So, but you guys got to be sure and tune in every Tuesday. We are here noon Central Standard Time on boldradiostation.com.
Woohoo!
I know. Can't wait to see everybody again. Or I guess that would be hear everybody or
I don't know about
you guys
that.
Hear us. No.
Well, we definitely need to give a shout out to our awesome producer behind the scenes, Nesha. Without him, we would not be here. We wouldn't sound wonderful and beautiful and clear and all that good stuff. And we also want to say thank you to Kim and Lynn at Bold Radio Station. You guys are awesome, and we love you, and we're just so happy to be a part of the family.
Absolutely.
We do want to hear from you, so if you've got some ideas for some topics for future shows, or if you know of someone, or if you yourself would like to be a guest on Hot Mamas Living Better at Any Age, just be sure and reach out to us and let us know. And join us next week, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is noon Central Standard Time, depending upon where you are, for more of this awesome sauce with me and Kelly. And now we want you to go out there and be the hot mama that you were destined to be.
The great stuff doesn't stop here. Visit Doneen's website at fitnessnutritionconsulting.com and Kelly's website at affirmationstosmile.com. Remember to tune in next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Bold Radio Station for more fun.